Hey Simmers! Today we're diving into the magical new expansion for The Sims 4, Enchanted by Nature. This video is presented by the EA Creator Network. I was not sponsored or paid, but received a free game key and early access. Thanks, EA! Stick around as we break down all the pros and cons you need to know to help you decide if Enchanted by Nature is worth your hard-earned simoleons. Let's start with the good stuff and where this expansion pack really shines. The new world of Innis Green. This is one of the most beautiful, immersive worlds in The Sims 4. It's got 3 unique neighborhoods, including a mystical forest full of glowing plants and fairy circles. Perfect for storytelling or occult aesthetics. Everdew is the epicenter of fairy life, complete with magic and enchanting springs. Spruceberry Grove is home for many Sims who live off the land and even Spruce Almighty themselves. Coast of Admore is a seaside village where you can get in trouble if you use fairy powers and holds many lore secrets. There's also tons of new rabbit holes in all neighborhoods for grocery shopping and even fishing supplies. This world feels really dynamic and whimsical. Fairies are back and better than ever. The core selling point of this pack is, of course, fairies. Playable fairies come with their own personality systems. You can choose between harmonious and discordant paths, giving you different powers, like nurturing plants or spreading chaos with emotional mischief. Their occult trees are fully fleshed out and are thankfully very similar to werewolves and vampires. There's also tons of cross-pack compatibility, including with other occults, such as removing vampirism from a vampire using emotions. Lore enthusiasts rejoice! Have you been a longtime player of the Sims franchise? You might recognize a family in here called the Summer Dream household from The Sims 2 and Sims 3. Their sons Puck and Bottom are missing, but in their place is their daughter Mara. Fairy Queen Mara appears as an NPC in Magic Town from The Sims Makin' Magic. Fables are also introduced in this expansion pack, which expands on the Gnome Wars, fairies, public perception, and more. All of these additions make exploring the world really fun. Natural living gameplay is a game changer. You can now live fully off-grid, sleep on the ground, bathe in ponds, and even meet needs without traditional furniture. It's awesome for survival and eco-focused challenges. Rags to Riches gameplay has been completely transformed with this pack. Potion brewing with the apothecary skill. Craft powerful elixirs to cure new magical ailments like Greeny Meanie or Simoleon Fever. This adds a layer of strategy to your saves. New traits, aspirations, and career. Whether your sim wants to master ailments, live wild, or become a fairy, there's something new to try. There are 5 new aspirations for your Sims. Fairy Stories is basically a fairy tutorial until completion, then adds 2 more additional fairy aspirations. Discordant Fairy leads your sim on the path of becoming a mischievous fairy, while Harmonious Fairy leads your sim on the path of a helpful and benevolent fairy. Elixir Enthusiast centers around the new apothecary table and its various elixirs to treat ailments. Finally, Nature Nomad prioritizes living off the land. 3 new traits are included with Enchanted by Nature. The mystical trait allows Sims to build gardening and apothecary skills faster and have an easier time befriending any occult Sims. The plant lover trait makes Sims unhealthily obsessed with their gardens. And disruptive Sims cause chaos wherever they go and build the mischief skill much faster. The new Naturopath career also deals with elixirs, but adds a fresh new element of gameplay. This is a rabbit hole career while being able to work from home, or Sims can feature having clients stop by their home lot to cure their ailments. More Create a Sim and Build by goodness. For Create a Sim, every life stage gets some great items. The hairs are fantastic, and I'm glad to see children and toddlers even get a few of the adult hairs. I'll be using these even when I'm not playing with fairies or in Innis Green. Some nice tops, bottoms, shoes, and even headpieces for Sims as well. For Build By, there's a bunch of rustic and magical items. Houseplants now have needs, and you can garden in pots anywhere. Great for any types of builds. The aesthetic is very whimsical with a mix of cottagecore, which really leans into the fairy vibes. These are some of the best pieces we've gotten in a Sims game, including my new favorite crib. Isn't she gorgeous? The return of the daily luck system. Yup, your Sims now have random luck days, and you can even craft charms to manipulate outcomes. Adds a bit of surprise and chaos to your playthrough. I found this cow plant good luck charm while foraging, and my Sim now has 2 days of good luck, which will manifest with social interactions, work performance, and more. Alright, now for the cons, because no pack is perfect. Complexity and forced cohesion. There's a lot going on. Emotional hunger, potion crafting, luck, ailments, and off-grid needs. If you're a casual player, it might feel overwhelming. With each new expansion pack, the UI is getting more and more bloated with systems that don't integrate well with each other. The Simology panel with all of the packs installed is enormous. There's also not a lot of synergy for this expansion pack. While it's all fantastical, I'm not quite sure it's cohesive. I think Fairies being in a game pack by itself might have been stronger. It seems like Fairies was the first concept and everything else was built around it, but the other features feel forced. I'm also confused at some of their style choices for the pack. No single bed in such a beautiful, whimsical set. The new couch is gorgeous but doesn't match anything. New kitchen items but no new kitchen sink. The bathroom items have crystals, while the rest of the items in Build By don't, and Fairies don't have a bladder need anyway. Kids lack new horns and ears. Lots of things unfortunately miss the mark for me. The fairy energy system isn't for everyone. Fairies don't eat. Instead, they absorb emotions. It's cool, but it can be frustrating when your Sim's in a mood vacuum. If you've ever watched What We Do in the Shadows, Colin Robinson is essentially every fairy, and that's not a great thing. It got repetitive really fast. It's also nothing we haven't seen before, as emotional manipulation has already been something we have in The Sims with potions, lamps, showers, and more. Slow progression. Leveling up natural living or apothecary can feel grindy. If you like fast-paced gameplay, this might feel like a slog. It's very themed and very niche. If you're not into fantasy, magical creatures, or rustic survival life, this expansion probably won't add much to your everyday gameplay. Rags to Riches challenges will be transformed by essentially living off the land, and folks who have been dying for fairies will be pleasantly surprised. For simplistic legacy challenge gameplay, there's not a lot in here you'll reuse for replayability. I know that I am not the main audience for this pack, and that's okay, but I really miss what Life and Death did, where they appealed to both occult aficionados and family playstyles in the same pack. I believe they were attempting to do the same thing for this expansion pack, but it didn't land in quite the same way. The nature is lacking. Businesses and hobbies came with only 2 new hobbies. Enchanted by Nature came with 2 new non-debug plants. I fear we might have lost the plot with naming conventions. New live plants bring an array of expensive potted plants to the game, and you can also plant flowers, fruits, or vegetables in these little guys. But that's for inside the house, not outside. More plant decor exists in the form of nature pressing, but they are locked behind gameplay mechanics. We've got beautiful landscaping in the debug menu, but the most casual Sims player isn't going to know it's there. I personally would have liked to have seen more. You're stuck with ailments. As a family gameplay simmer, I was pleasantly surprised by the new toggles added with Enchanted by Nature. Like werewolves in Moonwood Mill, you can limit fairies to Innis Green only. You can also disable the luck system entirely and limit ailments. However, note I said limit and not remove. That's right. ailments will be fewer but will still be included. As one of the pop-ups mentioned, you can get ailments from everything, including using your neighbor's toilet, so this is really disappointing. Unlike illnesses and get to work, ailments can have both positive or negative side effects, but we're going to have to rely on a future patch update or modders to totally turn the entire system off. In the meantime, using UI cheats can remove ailments from your Sims on an individual basis. Limited career or world building options. Outside of the magical theme, there's not much for those looking for realism or modern professions. At the end of the day, Enchanted by Nature is a great fit for players who love fantasy storytelling, off-the-grid living, and unique life states like Fairies. It's whimsical, it's charming, and it definitely brings new additions to The Sims 4. But if you're more into realism or family gameplay, you might find this one a little too niche. So, what do you think? Will you be picking up Enchanted by Nature or giving it a pass? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more Sims content. See y'all next time for our next simming session.